Okay guys, some of you may recognize some of these components here. Got a couple of green stripe hoppers, one behind this one. We have the early Super Universal board, and I want to show you a few tricks here. When you go to test your hoppers, there are 1, 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 studs depending on how old they are. But on this one it's got 2 studs on the left. All you need to do is jump those together, and now this hopper is sending a signal to the board saying, I have coins and I'm ready to dispense money. It's easier than putting $50 of the coins in each time you have to dump them out. Now the other one, the second one, I do not have jumped yet because I want to show you the code that comes up on the board when we turn it on. Now you're going to be reading it upside down just because of my camera angle, but we have the MEI hooked up and 2 hoppers, right and left. Okay, as you can see, we're resetting. There's the total. $95,000 have gone through this, and it's going to give us a code. Hopper right is low. Well, that's because I don't have that one jumped. Okay, this will still operate on the 1. Okay, we only have 1 validator hooked up instead of 2. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we could hook the second validator up because the Super U board takes 2 validators. Now I have some tokens in these hoppers. These came out of a trade-in. Alright, and this unit was on standard pay for the dollars, 4 tokens. Okay, now let's do this. I am going to jump the second hopper the same way. The left 2 studs. And we are going to reset this. I'd like to have a sold out light on the bench to where I know what's going on here, as you can see behind that green wire. Alright, so now the only error should be one of the validators because we're running it with 1 instead of 2. So there's our total. Validator left, no COM, which is right because, and it does not give a hopper error. Here are our 2 validator plugins. Okay, they have 4 pins, they go to MDB. So we're working. Now let's do this. Let's put another dollar in. Alright, we got 2 tokens out of each side. Now, if one of these was out and it just kept running and running, it would eventually stop and then give me 2 more tokens out of the other side. So it's a smart machine. It's going to run both hoppers dry completely. Even if there's a jam in one, it's half full. If it clears the jam on its own by reversing the motor, it will still use up all the tokens. And now, what I'm going to do while we have it set up here, and I have a couple of green stripes that are on the 24 volt system, which is the small plug-ins, is I am going to power it down, going to unplug it, and I'm going to hook up the newer style universal board. Alright, 2 hoppers, our MDB plug, just wiggle them a little, they come right off. We'll put this out of the way. Now, this board is a brand new universal board. This is what is made today by American Changer. I can honestly say that as a distributor for many years, I have never, ever yet warranted one of these boards. And the time will come, one will fail, something will happen. Maybe somebody will damage it, maybe it'll get rainwater in it or something, but it hasn't happened yet. So, alright, what I'm going to do here is, you notice we have, I'm going to hook up both hoppers. If you only use one hopper, guys, the top left is the one you use, okay? Now, here's our MDB for our validator. As you notice, it only has one plug-in on a universal board. If you have a 2 validator system, you have to go to a super universal board. Okay, now the only thing I'm missing is my trusty sold-out light. What I'm trying to show you here, guys, is you can always test your components on the bench. Just take them out of the box. It's easier. You can see everything. Last but not least, before I power it up, do you see how the wires, this one goes to the right, this one goes up, up, to the left, down? A wire on an American changer unit never goes back in toward the board. Okay, you can plug a couple of these in backwards if you really try. I don't recommend you try. But anyway, so let's, we have both our hoppers jumped, so no matter how much money's in there, let me grab my singles out of here so we can test it. All right, there we go. We have everything hooked up. Power on. Let me get where I can show you the code. Now this is a board that I think we've only used in-house, and I believe that is the actual number of dollars that have gone through it is $500. So, once again, it was new and we plugged it in here. We like to check them on the bench. No codes. Everything should be ready to go. We have no light on the sold-out light. $1. Now, I got, oh, I know why. This is programmed to go from the left side. Okay, so therefore, we can change that as we go into the bookkeeping here. I'm going to show you. We start with the right button of the 3. See that? Okay, bills, payout. I apologize if that's a little bit glary. Okay, payout, hardware, enter, hoppers, yes, enter, CC talk. Let me put something under here so we have a little bit of an angle where it's not so bright. Maybe that'll help. Alright, so we're already on CC talk. That can be changed. Okay, compact, which would be your AC500 style, card reader, exit. So CC talk's where we want to be. Now we want to go, CC talk is on number 1. Okay, let's see what happens. Payout, hardware, hoppers, CC talk, it's on number 1. Whoops, I want to get that ground off of there just in case. And CC talk number 2. So it's as easy as that, guys. We're back in action. Putting our dollar in. It should go to 502. And, okay, I guess I could have showed you that. I'm going to show you that. So we turned on the second hopper. Okay, one more time because I want that to be nice and clear. Matter of fact, I'm going to put a 5 in there, even though we don't have anywhere near that amount of money in these hoppers. But we will get money out of both sides. Okay. All right, they're empty. We got a few out of each side, and I wanted to empty them anyways. So now what I'm going to show you, last but not least, I am going to undo my jumper cables on both sides, and we are going to power it back up. I'm going to show you what kind of a reading we will get. Still have a darn glare over that light. Alright, comes up with the serial number. We now have $507 in it. It shows us the hopper left. It just flashed was low, and it comes hopper right is low. I don't know if you can read that. And then it will say fail. Okay? Fail for the simple fact that we are now out of service. It'll try and reset because as you see that validator, it's looking for money. Okay, there's no more money in here because A, we don't have tokens in there, coins, nor do we have the hoppers jumped. So guys, simple. This is how we troubleshoot. We have a bad hopper, we can swap it, we can put another one that we know is good, we can test our boards, we can test our validators with an easy system like this. If you have a lot of changers, I always recommend you have spare parts, even if it's something just as simple as this cable or the cable that goes to the board here. So anyways guys, a little bit about how we do things on the bench here at Doug Bale Enterprises, and we're glad you joined us. Look for the next one. For now, Doug at Doug's World Tour, vending channel out.